Okay, so from the warm-up, we had the products are called the difference of two squares, or they're called dots. Now, we can also use that same thing for factoring, okay? Some of the perfect squares, 1, 4, 9, 16, all those numbers right there are perfect squares. And basically, it's what we're going to be doing for half of this lesson. And the other half is when we'll need those pre-factoring worksheets. And then we'll be going from there. Okay. So this is the way you start these out. These are fairly simplistic. You start with two sets of parentheses. One's a plus, one has a minus. Okay. It doesn't matter if the plus goes first or the minus goes first, just they're different. All right, since this is x squared, well, basically we take the square root of x squared and get x. And the square root of 81 is 9. That's basically how these things factor. Okay. This is usually what people did the best on in the past because it's easy. All right. Number 2, I'm going to start with parentheses, plus and a minus. All right, what's the square root of 9? 3. So we're going to put 3x here and 3x here. Okay. Square root of 16. 4. Yep. Just like that. Yeah, you do the square root of each term. That's it right there. Like for instance, on number 3. Okay, so if we take the square root of x squared, we're going to get x and x. And the square root of 4 is, we have a positive 2. Oh, that's supposed to be a minus 2. I got kind of plus happy. And since they changed the standards, we used to do something where you would have to factor out a GCF and then do dots. It's just dots. Okay. Used to do this funny thing where we would go dots, 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 dots. But I think that's kind of past and it's a little old, kind of like me. All right. What's the square root of 64? 8. And 9, y'all said was 3. All right. Square root of 25. Yep. And square root of 4 is 2. Now, believe it or not, I've had people miss this on number 6. All right, so plus and a minus. We know we're going to have x's in there. All right, here's the hard one. What's the square root of 1? 1, yeah. 1 is a unique number that it's its own square root. Same thing squared. It's just unique. That's why everybody wants to be number 1, okay? Because it's unique. Okay, so, all right. Factoring trinomials with the leading coefficient of 1. Now, last week, after the test, I gave you these pre-factor sheets. And it had something kind of like this, where it said, let's see if I can draw this very well. All right, it said like, product and sum, okay? And then we had another thing here and here. All right. And then if you had these numbers, the product was negative 44 and the sum was positive 7, okay? So what were the numbers that when we multiply them, we get 44, but when we add them, we get 7. Well, what's some numbers? All right, there's a couple ways to do this. This is what a lot of people will do. They'll do a little T-chart right here. All right, what's some numbers that will divide 44? All right, 11 and 4. Okay. Well, since our 7 is positive, the bigger number has to be positive. So what's 11 minus 4? 7. All right, y'all ready? Better hang on to your, put on your helmets. I'm about to blow your mind. That's how it works out. That's why we did those pre-factoring worksheets last week. That's it. That's it. If you know those factors, now some people, they'll have to sit here and they will list out every factor, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some people get it faster, some people get it different times. This just depends on the way you're wired. Okay. All right. So let's flip over on the back. So this was difficult. What are the factors of 3 that add up to 4? 1 and 3. Awesome. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, it's still see, and this is why we tried to do those pre-factoring sheets. And I told you if you had them, you know, I would have these out all the time if I'm doing these, because some of these you can actually find on here. All right. Now, what gets people though is the rules with the minuses. Okay, because this is positive and this is negative. That means both of these are negative, because a negative times a negative is positive. If you add 2 negatives, you get a negative. Okay. So what numbers, when you multiply them, you get 28, but you add them, you get 16? What do y'all know will go into 28? 4 and 7. I know y'all have been sitting here thinking about it, but it doesn't add up. What's something else that will divide 28? Just any number. Not 8. Try smaller. What about 2? 2 times 14 is 28. Negative 2 plus negative 14 is 16. So these are our factors. See, that's why I noticed that, with some of these common numbers, usually we don't think, when we think of 28, we think of factors of 4 and 7. So that's where sometimes you gotta, what I like to say, you kind of get bogged down. Okay. You kind of slow down a little bit. Oh, here's the, love this one. All right. Since this is minus, our signs are different. All right. And this means our bigger numbers positive. Thank you. Woo. All right. So what's numbers that we know that will go into 6? 3 and 2, right? All right. I already said the bigger number has to be positive. So what's 3 minus 2? 1. Okay. Which one are we talking about? Close. All right, one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative, because this is negative. The bigger number's negative. All right, if we have positive 3 and negative 4, that gives us a negative 1. What's something else that will divide 12? So a positive 2 and a negative 6 gives us negative 4. Yep. When's your test? Wednesday. Where are you Wednesday? Not at school. I'd prefer you use your your factoring sheets and stuff other than some of y'all try to take pictures with your phone and do photo math. Okay. Which on this next unit, that's going to be kind of difficult. All right. P and a P. All right. Since this is positive and this is negative, these are both negative. What's some of the numbers that will go into 18? 9 and 2. Yeah, so it's a minus 9 and minus 2. And it doesn't matter the order as long as the signs are correct. Okay. But that's basically, used to we would have to do this thing where it's like AC bust the B, it'd take a long time. This is what's called the shortcut method of factoring. And it only works when your leading coefficient, that number all the way out here in front of the square term, is understood to be 1. Okay. So all your problems that you're going to use this on is going to look like that. Okay. Go. There we go. Come on.